If you're in the market for a smartphone, you might be surprised to learn why I believe the Google Pixel 9a, priced at $499, stands out against its rivals from Samsung and OnePlus. Key insights from ZDNet. The Google Pixel 9a is the newest addition to Google's mid-range lineup, retailing at $499. It boasts the innovative Tensor G4 chip, advanced AI capabilities, an upgraded main camera, and the largest battery ever seen in a Pixel device. However, potential buyers should be aware of some compromises, such as the absence of a telephoto lens and slower charging speeds. Explore more. View at Google, https://nrodesers, store.google.com/us/config/pixel9a. View at Amazon, https://www.amazon.com B0DVHV7N4X. T-Mobile PRFN, click CamRef NProf DTSDENFBB/option for comprehensive tech insights. Consider adding ZDNet as a preferred source on Chrome and Chromium browsers. I can't help but feel that the creators of the Google Pixel 9a possess a remarkable foresight, as this device perfectly aligns with the current market climate. At a price point of $4, brands are preparing for the impending changes. Prices are fluctuating, and consumers are eager to secure value before the market shifts dramatically. In this context, devices like the Pixel 9a, which promise long-term advantages at a reasonable price, are more crucial than ever. The timing of its release positions the Pixel 9a as one of the most impactful devices of 2025, even if that wasn't the original intention when it was first introduced. Setting aside the complexities of macroeconomics, let's delve into what makes the Pixel 9a a worthy consideration, based on my personal experience using it daily for several months. Initially, I was skeptical about the Pixel 9a's design and hardware. The bezels are noticeably thicker than what we see in many contemporary models. Even when compared to similarly priced alternatives like the $459 Nothing Phone 3a Pro and the $399 Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. Additionally, the decision to remove the iconic camera bar from the Pixel series was a bold move. While this design choice may make the Pixel 9a less distinctive in a market flooded with sleek glass devices, it does offer two significant advantages: improved hand placement and reduced dust accumulation. Previously, I would often rest my index finger beneath the camera bar for support, but without this physical barrier, I find it much easier to hold the phone comfortably. You might wonder why I'm so enthusiastic about ergonomics. The Pixel 9a's power button is positioned quite high, so having flexibility in hand placement is essential. This power button also activates Gemini, a new feature that replaces Google Assistant on the Pixel 9a. Gemini can now handle more complex tasks, including multimodal, vision-based assistance, enhancing the overall user experience. One common complaint about Pixel phones has been their tendency to collect dust around the camera bar, especially when encased. The Pixel 9a, however, avoids this issue, maintaining a clean look even after weeks of being tossed in and out of pockets and bags. Another aspect I appreciate is the brighter display, which now reaches a peak brightness of 2700 nits, an upgrade from the Pixel 8a's 2000 nits. This improvement became evident during my rigorous testing, where I read text-heavy web pages while riding a bus. While it may sound unscientific, the difference in visibility under bright conditions is significant. For everyday users, these enhancements translate into a better experience when consuming content outdoors. The Pixel 9a also excels in processing power, equipped with the same Tensor G4 chipset found in the soon-to-be-released Pixel 9 series, including the high-end Pixel 9 Pro XL and the foldable Pixel 9 Pro Fold. With 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is the current standard for running advanced AI features, this phone handles most tasks with ease. Google claims that the Tensor G4 chip offers a 30% increase in web browsing speed compared to the previous Tensor G3, and I can attest to this. When comparing the Pixel 9a to the Pixel 8a on the Save Wi-Fi network, the former loaded various web elements a few seconds faster. While it may seem minor, these seconds add up to a noticeably quicker browsing experience. The critical question remains, how will the Tensor G4 perform in the long run? This includes aspects like cellular performance, power efficiency, and memory management after a year or two, which have been concerns raised by users. In fairness to Google, the company doesn't market its devices as multitasking powerhouses or gaming consoles, but I will be keeping a close eye on this. I have high hopes for the Pixel 9a's longevity, particularly regarding its battery life. With a robust 5100 mAh capacity, this phone sets a new benchmark for Google. I've noticed an impressive increase in battery life compared to the Pixel 8a, which has a 4,492 mAh battery, especially during my camera-intensive usage. My battery tests, which involve 45 minutes of continuous use, browsing social media, streaming videos, and making calls, showed the Pixel 9a outperforming even the Pixel 9 Pro XL. However, I do wish Google would enhance the wired charging speed, which currently sits at a lackluster 23 watt. I would gladly welcome a 65 watt or even a 30 watt option. Additionally, the flush camera design of the Pixel 9a makes it more compatible with various wireless charging docks. On paper, the new 48-megapixel primary camera may seem like a downgrade from last year's 64-megapixel model, but the larger sensor in the Pixel 9a does make a noticeable difference. I particularly notice this when taking nighttime photos or shooting in challenging lighting conditions. Zooming into images reveals that the Pixel 9a captures more detail and vibrancy, resulting in improved contrast and color accuracy. It also excels at rendering skin tones accurately, which can be tricky in environments with varying color temperatures. However, I did find myself wishing for better zoom capabilities. During a recent New York Knicks game, I struggled to get a decent shot of the tip-off due to the absence of a dedicated telephoto lens. Despite being relatively close to the court, a wider shot of the arena, taken with the 13MP ultra-wide lens, turned out beautifully though. I experienced similar frustration when trying to photograph some turkeys crossing a street in Staten Island. My curiosity got the better of me, and as I approached, the birds quickly scattered. Final thoughts from ZDNet. In today's economic climate, making informed purchasing decisions is more important than ever. After thoroughly testing the Google Pixel 9a and comparing it to every other A-series device since 2019, I can confidently say that this is the most well-rounded smartphone available for under $500. The inherent value it offers, such as 7 years of software support and a range of AI features inherited from higher-end Pixel models, makes it a more sensible choice than its flashier competitors. Whether you prioritize a high-quality display, dependable battery life, or a camera that captures great shots, albeit with some limitations, the Pixel 9a is sure to meet your needs. It ranks among the top Android phones I would recommend at its price point, especially if you can find a carrier deal that suits your plan. But what if you're currently using a smartphone that's only a year or two old? In that case, it might be wise to hold off on purchasing the Pixel 9a. Instead, consider waiting for the next major sales event, as the $799 Pixel 9 is likely to drop to a similar price range soon. If you can be patient, the Pixel 9, priced just $50 to $100 more, represents a better smartphone deal and is considered the best option for most consumers, including power users and business professionals. The mid-range market is currently brimming with promising options, and the timing for making a purchase couldn't be better. At ZDNet, our review team dedicates over a year to testing every major phone release, assessing daily performance, camera quality, battery life, and unique features. Here's a summary of the criteria we evaluate before making our recommendations. Design and ergonomics. The aesthetic appeal and comfort of a phone are crucial factors in many users' purchasing decisions, so we pay close attention to these elements during testing. Performance. Various factors influence a phone's performance, including LTE 5G connectivity, battery longevity, and background processes. We typically start our evaluations with a fully charged device, all background tasks closed, and a stable mobile connection. Camera quality. We assess phone cameras by capturing hundreds of photos and videos across different subjects and lighting conditions, comparing the results to older models. Battery life and charging. We evaluate how long phones last under light, moderate, and heavy usage, how quickly they recharge, and the methods used, wired, wireless, or both. Special features. We look for features that set tested devices apart in a crowded smartphone market, ideally adding value for users. Pricing and availability. Beyond budget considerations, we also note whether a phone is available in the US or only internationally. For a more detailed overview, check out our comprehensive phone testing methodology page. This article was initially published on April 10, 2025, and updated on August 16, 2025, to include the latest retailer deals and the upcoming launch of the Pixel 10 series.